Here this morning, clearly as far as the given weather condition in Delhi NCR is concerned, it's been quite an interesting winter season because today Delhi NCR has woken up to a refreshing spell of rain as it offered a much relieved respite from the dense fog that had blanketed the region yesterday, remember. Now, the fresh showers brought clarity to the air and reduced a thick blanket of fog that had disrupted visibility in daily activities. As schools in Delhi, Noida and Gurugram reopened today, district administrations have revised timings for classes, nursery to 8th starting at 10 a.m. in response to the sudden cold spike. Now, on the other hand, IMD has predicted dense to very dense fog in Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh and UP. But let me cut across to Kritika Tiwari, who joins me every morning to tell us what that's looking like in the Delhi NCR region. Kritika, very good morning to you. Given just 24 hours ago, we were looking at a very different situation. So it seems a winter game of a different kind. Having said that, showers have brought some respite in terms of what we're looking at in visuals. But at the same point of time, it's not a great morning overall because in any way, even commute has been impacted at some given point or the other.
Right, Nivedna. In fact, it is quite a respite from the low visibility conditions, as you were pointing out. In fact, on your screens, camera person Parshuram is also giving you visuals from the Akshardham temple area, just to give you some context of what different regions, in fact, in Delhi is looking like this morning. On your screens, you'll be able to see that there is only a very slight mist that is covering the monument here, that is covering, in fact, the high rises behind it. Other than that, we're seeing a massive improvement in fact, visibility. The commute also, early morning commute this morning, has been pretty smooth. In fact, the Delhi airport authorities had also put out an advisory for earlier in the morning that low visibility procedures are still underway, but that has not impacted any flight movement so far. Our camera person is also showing you visuals from the far end of this area as well, where you'll be able to even make out outline of the flyovers that is towards even beyond Mayur Vihar for that matter. And even if I request him to show you the metro station as of this morning, the visibility has clearly improved, and it is also helping commuters plan better their commute this morning. Now, later in the evening yesterday, through the night as well, and very early in the morning too, thunderstorm and light rainfall was reported from different regions in Delhi NCR. Noida, Gurgaon as well as Delhi had received slight rainfall along with many other districts in Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan as well. And that is helping the overall ventilation index, in fact, reducing the amount of trapped humidity as well. So that is going to help with the visibility throughout the day today. And even tomorrow, we are only expecting shallow fog situations to form. Therefore, the next 2 days look slightly better in terms of visibility. As far as the temperatures are concerned, in fact, what is being predicted by the IMD is that there is going to be a gradual rise in the minimum temperatures over the course of the next 3-4 days. This is applicable for the northwestern region as well as in central India as well. And in other parts, in the eastern part of India and in the southern, there wouldn't be any significant weather changes. But this rise in temperature is also going to bring some sort of respite to the residents, definitely. But however, as you were pointing out earlier, with the rains, a slight drop in the maximum temperature is expected. Yesterday also we recorded maximum temperature around 19 degrees Celsius. Today it is expected to touch 17, but it is going to be largely in the same range. So definitely double respite here, respite from the dense fog conditions that had in fact gripped the national capital yesterday till around 12 p.m. In fact, a lot of leaders had filed their nominations. Supporters had come in to shower them with their support, all in very dense fog conditions, in fact, yesterday. So today, all the rallies that have been planned by different leaders will be seeing better visibility and, in fact, better weather conditions as well. Over to you, Nivedna.
All right, Kritika, as you pointed out, I'm given to understand Yavar is also joining us this morning. Yavar, I'm going to come back to you considering we're given to understand you are having some sort of a technical issue with your line. Kritika, let me come back to you as far as the overall situation is concerned. So we're going to be looking at a different aspect of what we saw compared to the last 24 hours. Also, in that aspect, in terms of schools, what we did see for the longest time is they opted to shut down. That would have been more convenient. But with the temperatures improving, that directive has been given today. But are there more details that are emerging as to for how long we could see this potentially?
Right. So yesterday we had heard late night, and in fact, information was received from the Directorate of Education in Noida that schools up till class 8, in fact, have been shut down for today and tomorrow in Noida. Now, that was looking at the very dense fog conditions that had prevailed in the National Capital Region, in fact, for the last 2 days. But given that moving forward, we'll be seeing improvement in both temperature, and also it is expected to see some improvement in the fog conditions as frequent spells of rainfall can be expected in the next 10 days. Therefore, it is expected that, in fact, these regulations will be lifted, and no more off days for any of these junior and middle school kids. In fact, even in Delhi, hybrid classes notification has been issued for all classes, in fact, apart from the board years, apart from classes 10 and 12. But this is in relation to the declining air quality. Now, definitely with these restrictions also coming in, the idea is always to protect children from the cold, and also it reduces chances of any possible collision because of early morning traffic that generally happens. So it was in fact a good move, but we're seeing that with improvement in the weather now, all of these restrictions will be slowly lifted. Over to you.
All right, Kritika, stay with me because I'm going to come back to you as far as the other aspect of the season is concerned, the pollution. What is that looking like? We'll get talking about that in a bit. But let me also get Yavar and ask him how that is looking like in terms of the given conditions. Yavar, very good morning. What we're experiencing every day in Delhi NCR is probably playing a game of cards because you never know what is going to happen and what is going to be predicted. But as far as where you're reporting from, what we can look at least your particular frame at the moment is that winter is at its peak. But is it absolutely harsh at the moment, or will there be any relief?
Well, as of now, there has been no relief to the boom chilling winters in the Kashmir Valley because there's a 15 days more to the chilling and the harshest period of the winters in the Kashmir. And we have been given the understanding that from today, there is a wet weather condition that would prevail, particularly in the high parts of the Kashmir Valley, where the fresh snowfall is going to experience. And now we have been given the understanding that there is no, prediction of any major snowfall in the Kashmir Valley, at least for next 48 hours in the Kashmir Valley. This has eventually brought down the temperature to the sub-zero. And in continuously over a past 40 days, the Kashmir is really under the sub-zero temperature, where the mercury at least settled down to minus 3 at various locations. And on the higher notes, the Srinagar has experienced a minus 8 just previous month, and today there is also minus 4 that's been recorded in the Srinagar. And also, this has caused the concerns for the locals as well because this has immensely caused the health concerns all across. And given the fact of the understanding that the tourists are found to the Kashmir Valley because the high risk, which is the Gulmarg, the Pahalgam, or the Sonmarg, they have a good amount of snowfall, and that has eventually gave a new life to the tourism industry in the Kashmir Valley. But particularly in the plains, if we talk about the Srinagar or the Ganerbal or elsewhere, which is the adjacent village, there has been no snowfall or rainfall that has occurred over the past 1 week, and eventually the mercury is continuously dropping down. And most parts of the Dal Lake has been frozen up. A thick sheets of the frozen water layer can be seen through the day there, and immensely causing the inconvenience to the boat routes there. But somehow we are witnessing that this weather is going to persist in the Kashmir Valley for at least the next 48 hours.
Right, yeah, I appreciate you putting that into context for us, but for the moment, we leave it at that. But since we're talking about what the weather conditions in the Delhi NCR region is, let's also tell you how, with the aspect of course, it did experience overnight showers. But, there have been a situation where it's failed to improve the pollution. The air quality index in the national capital is currently trading around 350 in the very poor category. Even as this is a slight improvement, remember, from last evening, several areas are still registering AQI in severe category, which means that GRAP4 restrictions have been reimposed amid the deteriorating situation. According to the Met Department, calm winds, low temperatures, and foggy conditions allowed accumulation of pollutants in the region, which of course eventually led to the sharp dip in air. Now, schools are set to reopen, like we were telling you just a couple of minutes ago. Let me cut across to Kritika Tiwari, who will help us understand the situation better. Kritika, like we said, that particular number that, of course, you'll break down in terms of different areas of Delhi NCR. But we're given to understand this is a little bit of a respite, but at the same time, you look at the reimpose aspect of the GRAP 3 and the 4. Why would that be? If you could help us get more perspective on that front.
Right, Nivedna. In fact, at the same time that we were reporting yesterday, in fact, earlier in the morning, the AQI was again in the very poor category. It was at 350. And over the course of the day, because of the very dense fog conditions that had enveloped the city, there was no dispersion of pollutants. There was also no wind speed, because of which the fog had also not dissipated. And with that, pollutant concentration had increased. And around 7 p.m. is when the AQI had in fact breached the severe level with a reading of 401. Now, as per the Supreme Court's regulations and advisory to the Central Pollution Control Body, in fact, whenever the AQI touches 350 is when GRAP restrictions owing to severe stage are applicable, and whenever 400 is crossed, this mark on the AQI scale, GRAP restrictions in relation to severe plus category are enforced. Yesterday was the third time when GRAP 3 restrictions were again put into effect in the national capital. And this is happening only in the course of the last 15 days. And along with GRAP 3 restrictions, even GRAP 4 was applicable. What that means is today, no interstate buses, no trucks are allowed to ply in Delhi. In fact, older models of petrol and diesel will also not be plying. And the state governments of Delhi, of Uttar Pradesh and Haryana can take a call to, in fact, issue staggered working hours for their employees as well. So congestion, vehicular congestion could be something that can be tackled. And definitely all construction and demolition activities stand paused at the moment until and unless these restrictions are lifted. Now, currently what we are experiencing in the national capital, that the AQI has in fact now improved to 340 category as well. That is a direct effect of the rainfall and the strong winds that was experienced from late last night to in fact earlier in the morning as well. Wind speed up to 20 to 35 kilometers per hour was also experienced in multiple parts of Delhi NCR, and that has led to the dispersion of pollutants. And again, requesting our camera person to give you a sense of the visuals. You can also see that even when we were reporting in October, there always used to be a grey haze, a blanket of smog, in fact, that used to cover the capital. But as of this morning, visibility definitely has improved considerably, and that is also to show that visibly also it seems like a far less polluted day than from what we were experiencing earlier. But here, what also demands our attention is how multiple times GRAP restrictions now, after the Supreme Court, in fact, pulling up the Central Pollution Control Body, now that these GRAP restrictions are put in place preemptively as well, it is not that the GRAP restrictions in itself are contributing to the reduction in pollution. The two times before when these measures were revoked, it was again due to good wind speed and rainfall, significant amount of rainfall that had helped in settling and in dispersing pollutants. So it is always the weather which is coming to the rescue of Delhi specifically, because yesterday also we saw that not a lot of neighboring cities were experiencing very poor to severe category. But so this is again something to think about for our policy makers. But currently also 6 stations remain in the severe category, which again is very concerning for their respiratory health. Over to you, Naveen.
Right, Kritika. I appreciate you putting that into context for us in terms of what factors are also driving the given situation. But having said that, continue to stay safe in the given conditions. We'll just once again quickly focus on the visuals that we have on your screens as to what you're looking at. Of course, in terms of the weather, there is showers this morning. In fact, throughout the night, we did see that in terms of many parts of Delhi NCR. That's why you're looking at 2 sets of visuals. There's, of course, a little bit of haze on the right hand of your screens as well. That's from ITO in Delhi. And on the left hand, you do see when the showers did happen in the national capital. But for the moment, we leave it at that because we're shifting our